So, good afternoon. Welcome to the East and West Abroad Communities That Care Network Teen Talk and Talent TV show. Today, we're going to be discussing the inspirations of the Olympic Games in Rio 2016 and how our young African Americans are inspiring the nation to do better. So stay tuned. I have a few teens here with us today that will be able to address some of the concerns and issues that we have in our community and also the quality of life. Without further ado, welcome. My name is Charlotte Greer Brown. See you later.
Okay.
Okay, how y'all doing today? Good. Okay, so I'm gonna go around and just introduce yourself and just tell people what you inspire to do, what school you're doing, what are your future goals. I'm Charlotte Greer Brown, facilitator of East Abroad Communities That Care, East and West now, Communities That Care Network.
I'm Fatima Barnes. I go to Guest School and working to get my diploma and looking for a job, student life.
I'm Tajia Gatewood. I work three jobs, and I'm going to the Army in September.
Oh, congrats.
I'm Amir Harris. I work as a librarian and I go to jail for organizing design.
Oh, so great. So now that you met these nice group of youth, we would like to start our conversation. We've been out here since March of 2016 discussing some challenges and concerns and issues that we have in our communities. And we picked different topics, and today we decided to discuss the Olympics in Rio 2016 because it is a very great inspiration for us, and we are making history. African Americans is dominating the sports, and we have won gold medals. So shout out to Simone Biles and to Gabby Douglas and to the swimmer and the fencer, both strong Black African American women. We are very proud of you. But I want to take it over to Fatima, and I would like to ask you. Just seeing our African American strong women dominate the sports, how does it make you feel, or how do you compare that to quality of life? Like, what does it do to inspire you?
I feel like it opened doors for people and make young Black youth and young kids look up to, other than a white face, Black face, and you can see I could do that and believe in myself.
And Tasha? Well, I want to know, like, what does the African American dominating the Olympic sports this year? How does that inspire you? How does that make you feel, knowing that they've first of all persevered through 4 years, because it's every 4 years. So for 4 years straight, they have to be on strict diets. They have to build their body, their character, their mind, their mental state to get to where they are.
Okay. It makes me feel like that if you put your mind to it, anything is possible. Just like working hard and being persistent. Basically.
I think it's pretty cool. But instead of always having a male or anything, that it's all women. So, and then, I think it's pretty nice.
Well, I think also, like, with this, history making is good, but it's always good to just try your best to put your best foot forward and do what you have to do to get to the top, or just to make it, or sustain or be stable. But one of the interesting things to me and to you and the viewers there is that we are now in the presidential candidate. We're about to come on this new president, and the whole entire nation has so many mixed feelings, and it's not the same. It's like one side and the other side, and then you have the people down the middle. But one of the things that our women are raving over is the first female president. So I thought that with that in the air of us having our first female president, possibly, and having these women to do what they're doing, it's kind of like a good feeling, you know, to say that we are on top and we have come a long way historically. We years and years ago, there were times when we couldn't work. I would call it domestic engineers, at home moms, and we stayed at home to take care of our families, and we didn't really have the opportunities as a male. Even all of the hard work, like carpentry, demolition, and things of that nature, those were the kind of jobs that are exempt from us. So I think we're kind of in a great area. Who knows how things, you know, may go. But how do you guys feel about the election? I mean, you don't have to say, you know, anyone's name, but just let me know how you feel about, you know, or what should be done with the president for the next one. What kind of message would you have for them? Anybody first? Fatima?
I had mixed feelings about Hillary at first, but I kind of like the idea of a woman being, you know, because it's making history. And I don't like the Republican side. You know, I prefer to stay on the Democratic side. So, yeah.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
I just want somebody that's going to be like fair and have rights for everyone, not just what they think. Like about what they want to do, maybe fair for everybody.
So we agree. I agree.
I don't really have anything, but like I want to say, I think it is. I think it's good that a woman is going for president and all that. But I do think that presidents should be able to do longer than for 2 terms. I like a little longer.
I like that.
Yeah,
That would be nice, like for now, because so many people are screaming that because they wish that Obama would just like stay in. Because I'm just gonna be honest, I am going to miss him so much. But I think what I liked about Obama the most, it has nothing to do with race or whether I like somebody. I think he had personality, and he knew how to interact with people of all colors. You know, he may have had diplomatic, you know, answers for certain things, or he may, you know, have tried his best to truncate things. But he always came, even no matter, I think no matter how he felt, he always came out in front of us when he addressed us. He addressed us what was right, like you said. Not for how he felt, but what he thought was right. And I can feel this love coming from him and his wife. I don't know, I can't describe it, but it was, I think it's something we probably won't see ever again. Just showing people that even though I'm the president, I can be normal too. And that's what people have to understand. And he sent the message to young people that you can do it too. You know, he let young people know, even though anybody could be the president if you work hard at it. And once you get there, it may not be as easy as some people probably thought, but it's something interesting to be able to help millions and billions of people at one time. So we'll move on to the next topic. Some of the concerns that we have been having lately is this cyberbullying with the violence. Cyberbullying and leading to violence, or just cyber confusion. A lot of us are on these social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth, Snapchat, and certain things are happening that are concerning the people. It's been happening for a while now, but I think it's just gotten out of hand. And what I mean by that is people posting pictures of harmful things or about to do harm to someone, or saying they're going to do harm to someone, people not believing it, and then the next day it's on the news, or somebody FaceTiming a crime and nobody's putting their phone down to go and help, or somebody's live, Facebook Live, and they're getting shot in the midst of Facebook Live. Like, most people don't realize when you cut your location on, you know how it says don't allow and allow, people know where you are. So they're watching you. So your enemy is watching you. So they're probably following you physically to your location where you are. and harming you in front of millions of viewers. Like, and it seems, I'm not gonna say everybody's not outraged about it and it's not a problem, but it seems as though to me there's nothing being done about it. Like, what can we do about this outrage of violence going across the cyber? Even just so much as just verbally laying somebody out to the point where you degrading them, you know? What do you guys think about that?
I feel like most of the things that happen on social media is like trends. Like, you got people doing Facebook Live and stuff because they see a lot of people doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, if they, oh, I'm going to record a fight or whatever, like, because they see other people doing it. But if they see other people doing good things, then more people doing good things, then maybe one day it'll just become a trend like everything else.
I mean, what about, okay, I understand what you're saying, like, but I post positive, this coming from somebody who experienced, I post positive things all the time on my Facebook page. I have like 4 different pages, everything is positive. And, you know, when they see a picture, that's another thing, you know, we all may be good looking, but you post a picture, you give me like 100, 200 likes, but then I post a picture about something, a child reading a book, or something about tutoring, you get 4 or 5 likes. Some people don't understand that. To me, people say, well, don't get on here and be worried about what people like your stuff or not. No, that's a concern. Because if you're liking my photo more than you liking something that's going to be positive and advanced or commenting something, then that just kind of show me where people are. You know, they're more about appearance and outer appearance. What do you think?
Well, I think that people like should just be on social media just for like good stuff, not negative energy and stuff like that. Because what people don't understand is when you get when you looking for jobs and stuff like that, they also look at that
Good
stuff.
point.
So it's just like certain stuff that you should do and you shouldn't. Just because everybody on social media don't mean that you have to. Because social media itself is just too much negativity.
Right.
Because everybody look at you different or say something, and it's just like how you said, if you put a girl that wear that's dressed up, not on little shorts and all that, she'll get 1K likes and everything. If you put up just a regular girl with a dress on, she'll only get 5 likes. It's just people and how they like their appearance and how they look at other people.
And if you think about it, you know, people, if you think about it, there are people who are being groomed, right? And learning and watching these shows and stuff. And they're watching social media. So in their eyes, you know, people who are under us, who, you know, younger, in their eyes, well, I got to do this and this and that to be liked. So in order for me the bar to be raised, I have to look a certain way, or I have to be a certain way. And that's not setting a good example. Because those young people are watching that. And they feel like, well, I don't want to dress this way, then I'll dress inappropriate, and that's when people are going to like me. And now you set an example for the generation, and they are our future leaders, you know. What can we do about that? That's what I want to know. What about you? What do you think?
I do agree with what you're saying and all that. People do that. Like would rather like and see violence more than they see positivity and stuff. Like I watched, it was earlier in the week, I watched this video of this cop. I forgot where he lives and all that. It's out of Philadelphia and all that. But it's this cop that knows around his neighborhood. He knows all the kids, all the neighbors. Wow. He's very friendly. And then the other thing is that he's a different color. He's Caucasian. Oh. So it makes it even more different and all that. And he actually gets a lot of likes and all that from him. Right. Like he gets some negativity, but more positivity because people want to see more cops like that. Instead of going around killing and shooting people, he's out there giving to the community and knowing people's needs. And knowing everybody itself, you know.
Oh, that's a positive thing. I like that.
And I wanted to say, a lot of people use social media as like an outlet, or to like be somebody that they're not. So that's why it starts a lot of stuff. People become like, you know, cyber killers, keyboard killers. You know?
Yeah, that's true. And I take all of that serious. Like when I see stuff like that, I take it serious. I don't think it's a joke. Because like you said, they're using it as an outlet, and there's certain language they're using it in their words, and you're like, oh my goodness, this sounds like somebody's frustrated. And then for the ones that go and post every little thing, viewers, please listen to me, okay? I know you may be going through some things and you have challenges every day, But just think about people in the past who didn't have social media like you, and they had to deal with those things. You know, don't let a person know everything about you and every little problem and issue that you're going through. Find a professional person or somebody that could probably help you to cope and get through those issues. Or do what we're doing. We're sitting here having a conversation, talking it out. And at the end of the day, when you finish talking it out, you feel much better about it. Because once you finish talking, then you'll get to the next level of doing something about what's happening to you. So I ask, please, avoid telling people every move you're making. Even when you go out of town, when you're traveling, don't tell nobody you're out of town. You don't know, some things could happen and escalate to someone breaking in your house. Because let's just face it, you know, this is not pie in the sky, it's reality. There are people out there who partake in criminal activity, and you do not want to be a victim of that, okay? So back to you guys. I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to make that point, because I always stroll down the timeline and people say, I'm on vacation, I'm going to be gone for a week. Why are you telling people you're going for a week? Like, I don't do that kind of stuff. But anyway, pictures tell it all too. But just to go back to what you said about the police, I think that what our leaders, community leaders, and grown-ups feel about that policing is the fact that he's getting familiar with the community, and it seems to be it'll be easier for people to feel like they can get away with doing something because he's nice in the community. But I think it'll be less crime if he was nicer, because then a person like, I wouldn't they'll think twice about what they're going to do if an officer showed an extra friendly hand. Like, I don't know what state it is, but I saw it on social media. The officers was pulling people over, scaring them to death almost, and handing out ice creams and saying, stay cool. Like, things like that is very cool.
I've seen that video.
And I don't think they should do that just because something is going, because we have trouble in the world, or we having all these police brutality and black on black crime and people against officers as well. I don't think that we should do that. This is something we should do all year round. If we put it into practice, well, we won't have a perfect world, but we have a better world. That's just the way I feel about it. Okay. Any more suggestions or something you probably would want to tell viewers, like just to watch out for on social media, or something positive to do?
I don't feel like cops need to go out their way all the time, like to make us feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But like in a situation where it could be avoided or something, like don't just take advantage of your authority. Like that's what we've been seeing lately on
Mm-hmm.
the internet. I mean, I just wouldn't want them to do that. I really don't mind them, doing their job. They don't gotta try to talk to us every time on the street, but just don't take advantage of your authority.
Yeah, that's true. And rules of engagement, okay? Everybody knows what's been happening lately, and this is no excuse, but flinching, making sudden moves. If you don't feel comfortable, if you feel like you're gonna do something that's outrageous, hold your hands up in the air and just scream. Say, my ID is in between my legs, I wanna reach it. Or say where your registration or your ID or whatever your information is, and keep your hands up high. I mean, I'm not to say like if something happens, God forbid, but at least your hands are up and they're out of the way. And we already know if there's a video camera around, there's a phone around, somebody's filming it. So make sure, I can't really say unless I'm in that predicament, in the heat of that moment, everything changes then. Like I can say it now because I'm sitting here talking to you guys, but I never know what might happen. But just make sure, no sudden moves, put your hands up. And facial expression, and always keep everything proper. Yes, sir. Officer, yes. Officer, yes, sir. And if you feel uncomfortable and you feel like something is not right, ask for the sergeant. Get the badge, the officer's badge number, and ask for the sergeant to come on the scene. There are different ways you can do things to prevent or try to prevent. Now, as far as for the other situations where, we have our officers who may be stressed or overstressed, or we have other people on the other end, the citizens that may be stressed, I think that for the officer's sake, we need to be able to have not a test, but like a reevaluation 2 to 3 times out of the year. to reevaluate them. Because if you think about it, when a cop first goes in, they're already nervous. They know what they have to do. But then, let's say 3 months down the line, or let's do a quarterly evaluation. Let's say 3 months down the line, something happens and they're traumatized. Yeah, they may go see a psychologist or something like that, but then, it still may be affecting them. So do you put them back out on the field to, to draw and pull your gun? I think there should be as many as times it can be, as often as it can be, a reevaluation, a psychic reevaluation on our officers. Yes.
And I was just going to say, like, with officers, like, some of them, once they get that power, they use it badly. That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes they get tired of power and use it badly and just think that they can just do whatever they want.
And that's true.
It's less likely for somebody to be reaching for a gun over a traffic stop. Like, that wasn't their goal to shoot a cop. A cop pulled them over, so I just don't.
Yeah, and then I guess I have to look at it too, because I have people I know, friends, families who've been in these kind of situations, and it's a thing called warrants. Okay, people have warrants on them. Like, you could be around people and don't know they have warrants on them, and they know they do. So when the officer pull them over, that's it. Oh my goodness, I'm going to jail, and I'm avoiding this. And they've been running and hiding and avoiding the police forever. So now they finally get pulled over, it's like fidgeting time. So the officer is behind the scene looking at their rep sheet. They're looking at it like, oh my goodness, this person could be armed and dangerous. Not saying that's all of the situations, but for majority of the time, some people have records, and they don't want to be pulled over again, or they don't want to do an offensive again, or sometimes a traffic ticket. After that last ticket, now you're getting a point taken off your driver's license. Some people take that very serious. It depends on the circumstances, but there's no reason to just hostility, like pull out a gun and just start shooting somebody. And to me, if you're shooting a person 18 times, come on, is that really necessary? I believe you guys are trained. So once you shoot them in the areas where they need to be shot at, or don't shoot them to kill, shoot the wound. Like, I don't know. This is a touchy subject for me, because when I watch these videos, and they always post and saying, well, you see 5 seconds. No, you see 5 seconds, but you didn't see a minute before it happened. You only see the part where we gunned him down, but you didn't see him do. And there's many cases where they show the whole video, and there was a young black boy. I think he was from Louisiana, and he was in a ditch, and he was shooting at the police officer. But we didn't see the whole video. The video that went viral is the one where they were shooting him down. And automatically, everybody knows, right? When you pull out a weapon, you're going to get shot. Because now, the men in blue, it's their safety now against, the citizen. So, now that we addressed that topic, we're going to move on to another topic that's kind of touchy as well. And our single parents, our young single parents, raising children and raising their siblings. Oftentimes when we sit down and have a conversation, we don't really talk about those kind of things and how they're struggling. Like you mentioned earlier, Tati, that you have to work 3 jobs, but just think about the mother who has 2 and 3 children that's maybe younger than you or the same age, that needs those 3 jobs and don't have it. And they're on government assistance or, welfare. And a lot of times we criticize them because, they should have did that. But some people don't have the proper, quality of life or even guidance from parents or parental guidance or whoever, maybe grandparents raising them. Some of them don't have the proper, so all the things they know to do is survive or continue to find love in certain situations, which results into them, doing things that people claim that adults should do. But there's many different reasons, and they're struggling, and we want to be able to help them. But there's a lot of organizations out here in the city of Philadelphia that are overcrowded. There's homeless shelters overcrowded. There's organizations that don't have the funds to be able to assist some of these single families. And if you don't make it in at a certain time, you get shut out. And then when you do go in, some of these shelters are not up to par. So, I mean, what do you guys think about, just put yourself in the position of being a single parent, and do you have any suggestions or something that they could do or to inspire our single youth to go on, the ones that are raising children?
It's hard with kids, and I can't relate, so really want to know because I wouldn't know what to do. I barely know what to do without a kid. So
Right.
I can only imagine looking for a job with 2 kids or
Right.
3 kids, or going to a shelter and it's full. Like I can.
And some of them try to go to school too. They're still in high school and they try to make it to school. I mean, you commend them, but what kind of there's no assistance or no kind of help. So what kind of encouragement
And then
do you give?
daycare is money too. You can't
Right.
just put your kids in daycare for free.
Right, that's true. And some parents are concerned about their children going to learning centers or daycares because there's a certain age, 6 weeks putting my baby into a learning center, I wouldn't be so quick to do it. And to me, I think, even if there's a mother who's like in her 20s, right, and she has a job, and she get paid vacations or she get paid for some maternity leave, I think they should stretch it to like 3 months, like 6 months. I think they should give them 6 months before they come back and pay them for 6 months. Those are the kind of things that I think about instead of 6 weeks and then you gotta go, you have to come back to work. No, because those are the most vital times. Your baby is learning from 0 to 5 years old. So I would want to be there for my mother, for my child. And to me, anyway, we're gonna start by raising our future leaders. Is to start at that 0 to 5 years old by preparing them for that road of education in life. What do you think, Simon?
Well, I think that you just need to, I guess, face it. I wouldn't say like face it, but like just work hard and see what you have to do and try to get a little guidance. Because I know like my mom was in that situation with me, so it was just like she got like a little help, but she just made it work. Like she never gave up. And we're fine now. But I know at that time it was kind of hard because like when you have a baby, it's just a baby. No instructions don't come with it.
What?
It turns into real life. Like you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's easier dealing like when when you do have support, like say your mom probably had your grandma or your aunt. Like it's people out here that don't have no support at all.
Yeah,
like
that's
no
what I'm
grandma
saying.
to watch their
Right.
kids. No like nothing. So
And some of them are living on our streets. I mean, we
Yeah.
had, the last time I checked, it was like 79. My number may be wrong, but it was like 79,000 young people homeless. And like a third of them, a quarter of them with children, So like she said, no support, no anything. That's what I mean by, and the reason I'm asking this question, because it gets back to when we talked about our first topic, our first subject was the Olympics. Something like that inspires me because it lets me know no matter how hard or how tough it gets, I can do anything. And what I found out about Miss Simone Biles is she comes from two parents that are addicted to drugs. So you can't tell me what a person can't do. She come from them, they raised her a little bit of her time, and then she moved to foster care, went from foster care to her grandparents. So what a story, what a drive. Whoever knows, like I would love to get in her mind to find out what drives you to be great, So that's what made me want to talk, like open up this session with the Olympics and talk about these brave young ladies who go up against any obstacle to persevere. What do you think about the single, youth? It don't even, because there are men raising their children, by themselves.
I think they should have more stuff to help the people instead of just having different parts or having people that have to pay a little bit or something. I think there should be more things free and obligated for people to come and not have to always worry about rather, and what if I'm not gonna make it to get to this place or not to that place. Like recently, probably a couple weeks ago, I was I do training down at Central, the main library, and they had someone come in and she was talking about how they help homeless kids and all that, and they go around looking for homeless kids. Not only just wait for them to come, they go out farther, like out of woods, places, and go looking for them. Not to bring them in or tell people where they are.
Right.
They bring themselves, like if they need something to eat, tokens, somewhere, food, anything. They bring them their stuff, and I think that really helps. Then they don't have to worry about I have to travel to this place. They can ask for help without having to without having to be scared of anything. I think it should have more so and more people ready to help them.
Right. I agree. And when you mentioned some things about bringing in those different items to them, foods and clothing, things of that nature, that goes back to what I said about funds. There's a lack of funds, and certain people get them. Yeah,
It's only 4 people doing it.
4 people. See, and where's the money coming from, or where's the energy and time? Somebody has to be compensated for that. So my thing is like raising minimum wage to me will help those kind of things. Like even if you, let's tell the truth. People work hard in fast food restaurants, okay? It's almost like labor. I mean, I don't know what you call that, but just for the sake of the viewers, I'll keep my personal comments to myself. But I mean, people work hard and sweat and count. Now I know that you may want them to have a diploma or something to be able to count and read. Right. Okay, well, let's start training these people, but don't just put them behind the counter. Don't just have them going and burning up food and then you fire them. You feel like it's not your position, whatever restaurant you are, to do that, but you're taking money. Some of y'all are multi-million, billion-dollar companies. To me, you should have some type of program where you train these young people to be able to work in your place instead of hiring them and they can't do the job and you fire them. That's how we're putting our young people out on the streets. And not just to hold you to the responsibility, but maybe it's something that you may want to consider. What do you guys think?
I always wonder how the world will go into debt, or like how our country go into debt. Like, don't they make money?
Yeah.
So why is we in poverty we supposed to be free? Like people move to America like because they think it's free. Like Chinese, I'm not supposed to name drop and stuff, but I feel like some like foreign like races, like they all move to America because they feel like it's free here and like we don't really have to worry about too much. But they're a majority of our population now, and I don't feel like they really pay attention to politics and stuff. So like I just feel like we giving them all the money and stuff, and they just think they don't really know what they're in, like
Well, that's a different subject for a different day, but there's a reason for that. It is, and I think people should be educated, and maybe I'll just be basic with it. There was a war that took place a long time ago, right? And it caused us to owe them something, okay? So now we become in debt with China, and now when they come over every 7 years, they can have a business. But what happened, how they manipulated the system, is once they're 7 years up there of free taxes, they put it in their grandchild's name. And then when they grow up, they put it in the cousin's name. And before you know it, 20 years of free taxes when originally it was only supposed to be 7 years of free taxes. But I just gave you my basic overview. But before I put information out there like that, I like to review it and research it and get people out there. Because, you may have somebody that's watching that's like, what? Are you serious?
I said that to say, like, because we would have, like, if they would pick, like, if I'm not judging because I don't really know which. Like, it's probably some that do, but most of the ones I know don't. And we need more people like in tune because we can't afford to just be like having a president that's not gonna have any resources for us, like or for like what we have to do.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like pretty soon, like I just give an example.
Yeah.
Coffee beans are just out. They say in the next 10 years there will be no more coffee beans, right? It's things that start out like that. No rice, no vegetables. And our community, we don't have a habit of making as many community gardens as we need to. Now, it's a booming industry right now for community gardens, but we don't know. Most of our Southerners are familiar with that, and they're older Southerners. Because to me, you know how people say North and South and East and West? As long as we had this thing called social media, everybody's watching what everybody's doing. So it's nothing different in different states to me, It's just like where you grew up and how you grew up at home. That's maybe different or culturally. But people are all doing the same thing. And I believe that if we had enough people growing these vegetables and stuff in our backyards, like we used to do back in the day, then we can reduce some of that, because now they're taking over. If you notice, a lot of them are coming into our communities, and it's nothing wrong with them economically thriving, but we are there. What happens to us once they continue to every corner you see? Every corner. I mean, nobody's outraged about that.
And they're not helping us.
No, they're not giving back. Let you turn their food in. They're going to be upset. They're going to go off on any little thing. If you even try to get a refund.
My staff at school was just telling me that they had a block party and they wanted the store to come out and donate some food, because though that the neighborhood all give their money there, and they didn't want to.
Well,
I didn't really.
No, I think
I
they should.
understand why they didn't want to come out, but to donate some sodas or
Right.
chips and stuff, like, you're going to get the money right back. So I just didn't.
Well, I have a store in my neighborhood where if I need anything and I have an event, or through the office we have an event, he do donate like chips and waters and sodas and water ice and everything.
Some that's very nice.
Yeah, so I'm thankful, for those that do help out. But I'm just only speaking on our community. Why can't we step up to the plate? Because all of y'all the future, When they get out of these positions, these elected officials or these doctors and lawyers and all these people retire, somebody got to replace them. So why not you? Because you guys care about the community. You know what needs to be done because you grow up in it and you've seen the struggles that your parents and your families had to go through. So we're going to close out on this session, and I thank you guys for coming. But before we leave, can each one of you just give a message to another young person to inspire them? Starting with
You say my name?
yes, you can say the camera.
My name is Fatima Barnes again, and I would like to advise young students like me to keep a drive and to keep focused, because it's really easy to get unfocused. And I feel like think of the benefits of being focused on something, and that'll drive you to keep the drive up to maintain what you do, because it's easy to get unfocused, but you should stay focused because there's a lot of distractions.
I'm Tajia, and I just want to tell young people to just be persistent and don't give up. And whatever you put your mind to, you're going to do it.
Thanks.
I'm Amir Everest, and I just want to say, try your best, work hard, and ask for help. Yeah.
And stay in school.
Stay in school.
Stay in school.
Okay, you
and
heard it.
don't never
Coming
drop
from
out.
All right. So, if you were tuning in today, you heard a lot of good things, aspirations, inspirations, and I'm going to end up on a note what this gentleman said here. Ask for help. A closed mouth do not get fed. Okay, so you have to always ask for help. A lot of times I try to give a positive moment before we leave, and I just want to inspire my youth to let you know that you are our future. You are the future leaders of America. You can make the change. What you put in is what you will get out of it. Nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. A man can move a mountain with a mere thought, so you have to think. And we must continue to strive to do better. Do not allow the circumstances and the things that are happening around you to keep going on and prospering. You can be that difference. Don't point at Nick, Tom, and Harry. Make sure you make the difference for yourself. If you start now, the difference starts with you. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Give you guys a round of applause. You can always tune in to see some of our previous shows. East Abroad and West Abroad Communities That Care on Facebook. And you can also go to www.eastabroad.east-of-broad-CTC. And that's our website, or you can email us at eastabroadctcnetwork@mail.com. And we will be glad to answer all your questions, concerns, and maybe some of the challenges that you have will refer you to the right people. All right, my name is Charlotte Greer Brown, and thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye now.